Welcome back to It's Ciao Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from Live Before You Die. Passport Bros. The gentleman has moved out of the U.S. for 6 months. Is he happy? Please, let's find out. Like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get to that chow. It's chow time.
What's up, guys? I am currently in Phuket, Thailand, and I have to say I really like Phuket. It's a high energy city with a lot to see and a lot to do. Recently I got some really great questions that I wanted to share with you guys. One question a person asked me is, am I happier now that I left the US and I'm living in Thailand? Right now I'm walking to Patong Beach. I want to show you guys this area as I'm talking to you because this is a really great area. All right, guys, as I mentioned, I am walking to the Patong Beach. I am currently in Phuket, and this is a really great area. If you're looking for excitement, nightlife, and beautiful women, Patong Phuket is the place to be in Thailand. But anyways, as I mentioned, I recently got a question from one of my viewers who asked me, am I happier now after leaving the US and living in Thailand? And this simple question got me thinking about why I originally decided to quit my job and sell my house and everything else that I own to go to a country that I have never been to and know nothing about. After all, the reason...
So what we talk about, it takes a certain type of confidence to be able to do that, to sell all your shit and go somewhere else where you don't know the language, you've never been before. It takes balls. It takes balls.
Happiness that I just did not have in my life when living in the US. And it has always been my dream to travel and see the world and see different countries and different cultures.
This is what we tell the Passport Bros. Don't go out there for women in particular, just for women. No, go out there, explore the world, explore cultures, explore languages, explore other countries. It doesn't have to be third world countries. Just go to any other country other than the US and just experience it. Meet the people. You know, if you like the people, you like where it is, decide you want to stay or not. Like, this is the great thing about earning income in the US. We are able to, multiply that money in many, many countries. South American countries, Asian countries, very few European countries, and then African countries. Not all African countries either. But yeah, our money stretches so much more into those countries. So if you actually find yourself liking that lifestyle, liking the people there, liking the environment, you can live there for much cheaper. This man sold everything to come here. Luckily, he enjoyed it, right? Even if he doesn't enjoy it, he still gets to travel to other countries and see where he fits in best. This is the great thing about having a passport and going out there and seeing the world. It's not just for women.
Hey guys, check out this tsunami warning sign. I don't know if you remember, but back in 2004, there was a 100-foot tsunami wave that hit this area and killed a bunch of people. Oof. So now they have these tsunami warning signs all over this coastal area. But the tsunamis are very rare, and every country has their own occasional disasters.
This is true. For those California, we have earthquakes and forest fires. So.
You who are new and you don't already know my story, when I was in the US, I did have a good job and had a beautiful house and every material thing I ever wanted. And I had built a very comfortable and safe life for myself. But at the same time, I spent 75% of my waking hours working in a job that I did not like, and I felt like my life had become so routine that I was living like a robot. I felt numb and almost dead inside, like I was just going through the motions of a life that society tells you are supposed to live until you're too old and tired to enjoy the rest of your life. I knew I was not happy with my life in the US, and I was not happy with seeing how the great USA was and is self-destructing into a place with so much conflict and so much loss of simple logic and morals.
Yep.
I feel like the great USA is going in a direction that I just do not want to follow. But at the same time, I did not know if selling everything and moving to another country would make me happy either. In the back of my mind, I was thinking this could be a huge mistake. I thought to myself, I could take a chance.
You know what? It's possible. Some people might like the U.S. so much better than all these other countries. You'll never know if you don't travel. That's all we're saying. Go and explore. Maybe you don't like it. Maybe you don't like the street food. Maybe you don't like Asian people. Maybe you don't like, Hispanic people or wherever you're at. Check it out. I mean, I would think coming from the US, you've experienced many different races depending on where you lived in the US, so it'd be nice to immerse yourself with some of these other races.
To find happiness outside of the US, or I can continue to live this life that I hated until I was too old and too tired to chase my dream of living and traveling abroad. Finally, after a lot of thought, I decided I was going to live the next 5 years of my life like it is the last 5 years of my life. And at the end of that 5 years,
I wouldn't suggest living the next 5 years. That's the last 5 years. You're just planning a little bit more ahead than 5 years, men. But, this man is doing what he wants to do.
If I decide that I'm still not happy and I'm still alive, I can always come back to the U.S. and start a new life. Now it has been 6 months since I have left the U.S. and moved to Thailand. And I feel like I now have experience enough to answer that simple question, am I happier now after leaving the U.S.? And the simple answer to that question is yes, I am a lot happier now since leaving the U.S. and moving to Thailand. My life has changed.
Man, just seeing all this street food makes me so hungry, and it looks so good. I like how they set up their street food and their things in Asian countries. I love street food. I like hands food, I like snacking, and it's nice to eat at a sit-down spot, but to be able to explore and eat while you're exploring is fun. Night markets in Asian countries are really, really fun.
Changed dramatically in almost every way. I can truly say I am enjoying the process of building my new life as I get to see and experience a different place and a different culture. I recently got another great question from another viewer who asked me, are you really living in Thailand? Or are you just surviving in Thailand? I responded back to this comment by saying, my new life in Thailand, I get to wake up every day and I eat breakfast looking at the ocean from my condo balcony.
Looks nice.
I also get a massage almost every day because it costs only $7 to get a massage in Thailand.
Gets a massage almost every day. $7? Shit. My normal meals cost more than $7 in the US.
I get to eat out at different restaurants and places twice a day for lunch and dinner because food is so cheap in Thailand. Housing, food, and almost everything else in Thailand is just a fraction of the cost of the prices that it is in the US. But the best part of my new life in Thailand is I can now spend my days doing what I want and when I want because I no longer have to spend 75% of my waking hours working in a job that I hate so that I can pay for an overpriced life in the US. I do believe I am.
So there is a big difference between him and most of you guys. He sold everything, so he has a chunk of money to sit on and live off of. He said 5 years. I think he has plenty of money. I don't suggest this method for many people just because, like he said, after the 5 years, he'll probably have to go back or find something new. I always suggest that you always have some kind of income coming in, even while doing these types of things. If you can't, and if you have that chunk of investment or that chunk of savings, then go ahead. But it's not easy to achieve what this man is doing.
I'm living a better life and not just surviving in Thailand.
Dude, restaurants on the coast, on the freaking rivers and stuff in Cambodia, it was awesome. This man's enjoying his life.
Another question I recently got from a viewer asked me if I feel safe in Thailand.
That's a good question.
And to that question, I say I actually feel safer in Thailand than I did in the US.
Damn. That's a powerful statement. He feels safer in Thailand, a third world country, than he did in the US, a first world country. Let that sink in, man. Let that sink in.
Most of the people I meet in Thailand, and Asian people in general, are nicer and more respectful than the average person in the US. I know some people will not like what I'm saying, but this is my opinion based on my experience. And the crime rate in Thailand is a lot lower than it is in the US. In fact, I have not seen or heard of any crime.
It's funny because when I went to Cambodia, I guess at the time when I went, it was a little bit more iffy. My family was pretty protective of me. Didn't really want me to go out on my own too much because they were scared I was going to get kidnapped because I'm from the US. But it didn't happen. It wasn't that bad. Everybody, like, I think my family is just super overprotective about things. So, yeah, but it was actually safe. I had no issues there. The only thing I had was, like, diarrhea and stuff because I ate so much food that I wasn't used to, but it was so good. And yeah, fucked myself over.
In the last 6 months since I have been in Thailand. Another viewer asked me if there's anything in Thailand that I do not like. I would have to say I do not like the way many people in Thailand drive. I am not sure why there are so many bad drivers in Thailand.
You can't deal with that. That's just normal shit. It's pretty bad in Cambodia too. Lights are a suggestion in Cambodia. Look how friendly, look how friendly the wait staff is. They come, they say hi. They're like, oh, excited. Unlike when you go to restaurants here, you get some college student like, what do you want? Like, it's a difference.
Now, as I was saying about bad drivers here in Thailand, I was recently at a stoplight in Phuket, and I was waiting in a group of about 25 other motorbikes and several cars for the light to turn green. Finally, the light turned green, and since I was at the back of this group of motorbikes, I had to wait for them to accelerate before I could start to accelerate. Well, apparently the lady in the car behind me got tired of waiting for me to accelerate, so she decided to drive her car into my motorbike, knocking me and my motorbike over onto the road.
That's normal.
As you can imagine, I was shocked and angry. So I got up and I looked into her window, and I could see this lady just looking at me, and she had a young child in the passenger seat.
She gave no fucks either.
So I threw up my hands in the air and I yelled, "What the hell are you doing?" This lady then rolled down her window and she motioned for me to get out of her way. I could not believe what was happening.
Could give any fucks.
This
She's like, you need to get out of the way.
Was acting like it was normal to run into someone with your car if you do not want to wait for them to get out of your way. So I finally motioned to her to follow me to the side of the road because we were blocking traffic and I wanted to get her information. So I picked up my motorbike off the road and I drove to the side of the road. Then this crazy woman then just drove off like nothing happened.
Of course.
I thought about chasing her, but then I thought I better just cool off and be glad that I was not hurt. After all,
See, that's one bad thing about Asian countries. When they say Asian drivers are bad, I think they meant the Asians that are in our countries. They're bad. Like I said, stop signs, stop lights, whatever it is, just suggestions. Just suggestions.
I am in a foreign country and the rented motorbike I had was already beat up. So the scratches from the accident just blended in with the rest of the motorbike. But I have many stories of crazy drivers here in Thailand. Not that bad. That's probably the craziest story that I have. But there are a lot of bad drivers in Thailand. One other thing that has brought many challenges to my...
The man looks better. I did a video on him not too long ago, and he looks healthier. He looks more chiseled. He looks like he's been working out a little bit. I'm like, oh, I'm proud of this guy.
Life in Thailand is the language barrier, as most people in Thailand do not speak English or they speak very little English. This language barrier has, at times, made simple everyday situations like ordering food or describing how
I think this is the great thing about Google Translate now. You can just literally just say whatever it is and they'll say it in Thai for you, and then they can speak in Thai into your phone and they'll just translate it for you too. Technology nowadays fixes some of these things.
I want my haircut or trying to date a beautiful woman that I met. These can all be a challenge when you do not speak the native language.
Of course.
In fact, I recently made a video all about this subject. I will post this video at the end of this video if you have not seen it. I think the language barrier and the bad driving are the few things I do not like about living in Thailand. Finally, I would like to answer a question from another viewer who asked, is there anything you would have done differently or anything that you regret doing? And to that I say, I regret not figuring out a way to leave the US and travel abroad sooner than I did. I realized that life.
This is why Passport Pops, all of us Passport Bro content creators are pushing for the young men to kind of understand this. Not saying spend all your money to travel. Don't fucking think I'm saying that. I'm saying when you have time, you saved up money, go see the world. Go see other places. You might be happier at other places. I know a lot of people are not happy with the grind here. Some people like it, some people don't. It is what it is. If you never travel, you'll never know. That's why we encourage these young men at least see some of the world. Yes, put your head down and grind and work towards your goals, but make it a goal to kind of at least see some of these countries and experience it.
Life I live now is not for everyone. Everyone has a different life situation and different priorities and different goals and dreams.
Damn right.
But not everyone will go to extremes to take the gamble to chase their dreams, especially if that dream is a completely different life in a different country. I feel blessed and thankful that I had the opportunity to chase my dream of travel and living abroad and making my dream a reality. And although the USA has its problems, and I am glad I was able to leave the US, I still believe the US is a great country. I do realize I would not have this opportunity to live my new life abroad if it was not for the opportunities and freedoms the USA has given me.
100%. I love this country. This country has given my family so many opportunities. It's given me so many opportunities. Like, I don't hate on it. I just wish to live into a nice, more comfortable life somewhere else. Doesn't mean I don't mind living here. If I can grind to where I have good salary and like good enough passive income to still live somewhat of a nice life without having to, work 80 hours a week, I wouldn't mind staying, finding a wife here. Like, again, I understand the laws. The laws are what it is, but there's also prenups, and I'm 100% getting a goddamn prenup.
I would like to make one thing clear. Although I am a lot happier since leaving the US and moving to Thailand, this does not mean my life is perfect. I don't think anyone has a perfect life. And my new life is always changing and growing as I continue to build my new life living abroad. And I continue to travel and explore this beautiful place called Thailand.
That was great, Ciao. I mean, Passport Bro. He's not particularly looking for love out there, but he's dating. He's doing his thing. 6 months of experience that he just shared with us. He likes it. He likes it a lot. Yeah, traffic and not traffic, but drivers and kind of suck, but it's not too bad. I mean, when you think about it, are you going to be on the road all too much overall? Probably a lot less in that country, in these third world countries, than you would be in like LA traffic or something, right? So, give and take. There's always going to be the language barrier. It can be fixed with, like I said, the Google Translate. That'd be the easiest way to fix it. And then the more difficult way was actually learn the language. Right? So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's Ciao time.